Hey booktube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you are new to me, it's the first time you're seeing my face. Hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So I hope that's why you're here, because that's what's going to be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in. The continued support, I really do appreciate it. So today for you, as you can see from the day's title of the video, I have another book review for you, and this is all on Brittany Nicole's Deadly Gossip. Looks like this. This is a romantic suspense thriller kind of thing going on, and it has good points, it has bad points, so let's just fucking get into it. Grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat. Let's get talking about this book. Okay, so Deadly Gossip, written by Brittany Nicole. I had this book on my March TBR, and it was picked by my subscribers to be the book that gets a full book review. So here you go, guys. A few stats about this book. It is a workplace romance. We have a married hero, a Hollywood actor, PR specialist kind of combo here going on. We also have cheating in this, and we have assault and murder off page. Assault is on page, murder is off page. Why did I choose this book? Well, I chose it because it was the Smut Club book of the month for March. And the Smut Club, if you're not familiar, is an online book club hosted by Cheyenne over at That Tall Book Girl and McKay at Oh Hey It's McKay. This was their installment for March, and when I put it to a poll for my subscribers, they picked it for the review. So that's one reason why I originally picked up this book. That's how it got put on my radar. Other than that, I've never heard of this author. I've never heard of this book. So this is a brand new experience, new foray to me. I don't read a lot of romantic suspense, so this is another new genre for me. So I'm very excited to break this thing down. I had a good time. I could have had a better time, but let's get into it. So, quick little summary about the book. We follow actually more than just two characters. We follow primarily just our hero and our heroine, which is Maddie and Duncan Scott. But we also follow Duncan's wife, Victoria Scott, and Maddie's roommate, Tyler. Those are our four main components, but we mostly focus on Duncan and Maddie. Maddie is an attorney who has been placed on Duncan Scott's legal team to kind of help clean up stuff that's in the paparazzi. Duncan is a multiple Oscar-winning actor. He is a Hollywood heartthrob. He is fucking perfect, okay? He's the dreamboat beyond dreamboats, and he's going through a really tumultuous time with his wife, Victoria Scott. Some pictures have gotten released showing that she's having an affair, which is shocking nonetheless, because if you see this guy, you're like, why the fuck would you be doing that? So people were just shocked by this in general. But these photos got released and his children saw them. So he is pissed the fuck off. And he goes to his lawyers to basically ream the person who failed, which was Maddie. Maddie's job on the legal team is kind of the fixer. She makes sure things don't go into the paparazzi, get into the public knowledge. That could be discrediting to his image and his kind of morale, and also any future litigations that he might have going on. And she failed. She failed really bad, like horribly bad. So this is what actually puts our hero and our heroine in the same room at the same time. And as soon as we get this initial meeting, it is game the fuck on. We are in it. Let's fucking go. All right, let's go. The chemistry is right there. It is on point, but there's another level to this story. There is something else going on. There is this thriller mystery element laced throughout this book that further gets developed throughout the course of our story. And it has something to do with the wife. The wife is not just the cheating chick. She's not. There is more to this story, and it gets really dark really fucking fast. So, what worked in this book? I loved the pace and the formatting of this story. It kept me engaged. It kept me turning the page. It kept me wanting to know. It gave me just enough suspense elements that I felt like I was reading a book version of Clue. And I grew up loving this game. It's one of my favorite board games to play because I love trying to figure out who did it, where, and when. And I felt like that through the entirety of the book. There was just enough suspense. There was just enough cliffhangers throughout the story to keep me engaged and keep me moving, to make me want to find out who did it and what. Now, in the beginning of the story, I'm not really feeling that. It's not until I get these random chapters of this unknown character that I'm like, how in the fuck is what? What is going on? Nicole did a really good job of hiding her suspense elements and causing you to look over here, but at the same time, she's doing shit over here. And it was fucking fantastic. Sleight of hand in this book is fabulous. Had a great time with that. I loved trying to figure out the twist in this book. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to admit it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't figure out a fucking twist in this book. I didn't guess the twist. I didn't guess the cliffhangers. I didn't fucking see any of the shit coming. And although that makes me feel about this big because I wasn't able to guess the right answer, it also makes me really excited because I didn't know. She hit it that well. It was that big of a surprise and shock factor when it fucking happened. I was like, what the whoa. Whoa. All right, well, damn. God damn it. I did not see that at the fuck all. I like it. I like it a lot. That was fucking great. Great twists. Great reveals, great timing. The pace and the formatting of this story was on point. Nicole did her research. She did it well. She placed these points in a really good formation. I don't know if she wrote this start to finish or she wrote portions and then just kind of stuck them in there, but it worked. Whatever writing plan she created, it worked because it kept me turning those pages. This was a 2-day read for me, and it's literally because I had to go to sleep because I had to work the next fucking day. Or I would have just kept reading. The other thing that really, really worked for me the most was Duncan Scott. Duncan Scott. I love how the fact that majority of the book we refer to him by his first and last name. I think that's fucking hilarious because, you know, he's this big actor guy. Duncan Scott, Duncan Scott, Duncan Scott. Oh my God, I fucking loved it. It never got annoying because I thought it was so cute and charming. But his character... fucking loved him. Oh my God. He was yummy. He was yummy and I wanted all of it. I wanted all of it. There was certain elements that were a little sketchy, but I'll get to those. But for the most part, I wanted all of him. He's constantly being referred to giving like this smirk, which I know this smirk. I've seen it on actors. I've seen it on male actors in interviews when they get like this kind of coy come on line from the interviewer and they know exactly what it means, but they're trying to be, you know, professional, but you see it in their eyes, like, yeah, I got you. And that's the fucking smirk. And I'm seeing it and I'm like loving it. I'm living my best life over here, picturing that smirk in this book. I was just great. It's referenced a lot. It's almost to the point where it's too much, but it really works because it's his signature thing. It's his thing. And we constantly keep bringing it up, but in different formats. It's not just, oh, he gave me the smirk or he gave me the crooked lip smirk. It's described in different ways, but you know it's the same look every single time. So it was very fresh and unique how she was able to describe it in so many different ways to not make it feel overused, but you still at the same time knew what was going on. I loved it. I loved his tone. I love the way he delivered things. Now, I physically read this book. I did not listen to it on audio. I don't know if there's an audiobook for it, but if there is, I might have to check it out because the tone that I envisioned and I heard in my head with his words, oh, it makes me tingle in so many places. So many. It was so good. I loved his delivery. I loved his quickness, his wit. It was fantastic. He had a lot of he had probably the better lines in the book when it comes to dialogue. He was the more clever. He was the sexier for sure. And he was also the more dominant, which was awesome. Okay. I have to stress this, that his tone with the dominant language infused in this book, I might have needed a minute or two a few times, I'm not gonna lie, just based off his words. And that's what I mean, literally his words, just the way he is talking to Maddie, the way he is thinking about Maddie. It's just, yeah, it was great. It's a good time. And there's another thing about his dominance that was kind of minute, but I really appreciate it was in there. There was this constant reference to him having to touch Maddie. Like, they would be walking and they just like link pinkies. He would like gradually like touch her thigh. This constant need to touch, this physical visual to touch her so other people around know that she is with him. I loved how this minute dominant factor was so poignant, and she pointed it out all the fucking time. I mean, it was in the car, in the courtroom, in the bedroom, in the living room, in front of his kids, in front of Victoria, in front of everybody. It was this constant need to have some part of his body touching her. And I saw that as his dominance coming out in a very subdued kind of form. And I really, really appreciate that, because dominance is not always just in your face, I'm in control, alpha male bullshit. Sometimes it's the little things. It's these little minute moves. It's the placement of the hand on the lower back. It's the placement of the shoulder, hands on the shoulders when he comes up behind you. It's the gentle grab of the pinky, just reminding you, hey, I'm fucking here. I got you. It's these little minor details that really helped infuse this dominance of Duncan. And I really fucking loved it. I ate that shit up, dude. I'm a detail chick, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, another thing that really worked in this book was the twists. The suspense side of the story was dope. There was not just one big twist, there was multiple twists with each character, and I didn't see a damn one coming. Not a single one. When I say I did not guess a twist, I didn't guess a single fucking twist in this book. Didn't guess a single one. And I kind of feel stupid, because I feel like I should have, because when they get revealed, I'm like, why the fuck did I catch that? How did I not see that? Oh, I know why. Because she had me drooling over Duncan Scott over here in this fucking, masturbatory scene over here. Fuck. Damn it. Like, she was so good at keeping your eyes somewhere else, but infusing these other things, so when these revelations come up, you're like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. How did I not see that? God damn, that was brilliant. I loved it. It was such a good time. Her twists were on point. Her revelations were on point. And the twists were so far out there that there's no fucking way they couldn't have worked. Like, they're so crazy and so far out that you would think, yeah, you can't make this shit up. But in fact, she did make this shit up, and it looks like it legit could happen if these people really existed. Like, I feel based off the characters that she created, all of these twists are legitimate and they're logical and they kind of make sense, except for one. There's only one, and we'll get to it. But majority of these twists were on point and great. I just loved them. Loved them. Great suspense side of this book. This book had a really, really good suspense element. So if you're looking for a romantic suspense that's really good on the suspense side because you're wanting that thrill factor, but you kind of want some romance on the side, this is a good one. However, for everything that worked in this book, there were things that did not work in this book. The first one is, I mentioned that there was one twist that I didn't really see the logical reason for, and it actually kind of made me hate the character. So we have this character of Tyler, who is Maddie's longtime roommate and longtime best friend. They've been best friends for like 20-something years, okay? And everybody who's anybody who knows them knows that they love each other, that they have feelings for each other. And neither one of these two assholes are talking to each other. So you're like, great, awesome, we're gonna have this. So throughout this story, I'm thinking, okay, maybe the relationship with Duncan Scott is the red herring? Like, this is kind of fake, and then the real romance is gonna be, these childhood sweethearts thing, which I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, okay. And then this twist happens with Tyler that there's no legitimate fucking reason for, and it completely makes me think he's a douchebag. He's a fucking dick. And he has no backbone, he has no balls, and he has no point in being there. Like, at that point, when that reveal happens, and the reasoning he gives behind it, I'm just like, you're a cop. Are you fucking serious? Really? You knew exactly what that would do to your quote-unquote best friend who you love, and you're finally fucking realizing it because somebody else wants to hone in on your territory because you were too spineless for the last 20 years to say anything. Fuck you. No, that's dumb. I did not like that at all. And actually, after that moment, I started really looking at Tyler's character. I'm like, why the fuck are you even in this book? You really don't need to be. I could have still had this suspense romantic element without you. You could have been any cop. You didn't have to have attachment to Maddie at all. That had really no bearing on it, except you scared her in a bullshit fucking way. Fuck you. No, I don't like you anymore. You're useless, which kind of sucked because I liked Tyler in the beginning. I liked the way he was comfortable around Maddie, and they're kind of like, you know, their comfort level. I really enjoyed that. I like that because this long-standing friendship was so important to her, and I really appreciated that. And then this happens, I'm like, well, apparently you weren't that strong of a fucking character because I don't think you need to be in the book. Great. Awesome. Party. So that was a downer for me. That was one of the only real twists that just didn't work. And then there was a twist on top of that twist that was kind of useless. It was just more of another pain factor. It's like, you're literally causing this bitch pain for no reason. And it's not in a cool, sexy, fun way. No, you're just doing it because you are spineless and you're a dick. Deuces, I'm out. I don't like you. The next thing that I didn't work and I wish it had, I don't mind insta-loves. They can work in some novels. Some novels, they are on point and they work. This one, it had the makings of working, but it just didn't fit. Because when we have Maddie and Duncan's first initial meeting, we have Maddie sticking her foot in her mouth, kind of like a fangirl moment because she's in love with Duncan Scott. She loves his film. She thinks he's highly attractive. And she kind of fumbles her fucking words. I mean, I've done that. I've met some famous people and I fucking cry because I'm a fucking crier, okay? And I can't speak when I meet famous people. You should watch my vlog of meeting Scarlett St. Clair. I'm just a ball of fluff. That's just how I am. So I understand, I could relate to Maddie there where she was just kind of like flubbing up her words and kind of sticking her foot in her mouth. And I get that he was physically attracted to her and he has this kind of dominant side that he's just like, yeah. But he walked in this meeting wanting to ram her ass and then for fucking up and failing. But now he's thinking, oh, I wonder what underwear she's wearing. I would love to bend her over and spank her. And I'm like, okay, internal monologues, I kind of get that. But then it quickly went from this insta-lust to insta-obsession. And it looks almost like a stage 5 clinger, almost to the level of stalker. Because he starts buying her gifts and appearing like a coffee maker and a new fucking chair and saying, oh, you haven't had lunch? I'm coming to pick you up. Sounds grandiose and romantic. It also sounds fucking clingy and stalkery beyond fucking get out. It does. So this insta-love and insta-lust, it looked like something else. And what I didn't like about it is because if it was gonna go that route, go that route. Give me that dark element. Give me that stalker. Give me that, I know everything about you. I need to possess you. I need to own you. Give me that. You didn't give me that. What you gave me was the start of that, and then she was all cool and copacetic with it, but in the beginning she's like, no. It's like, you wore her down too quickly. Like, no, I didn't like that. If you're going to give me insta-love and insta-lust, give it to me. If you're going to give me dark, stalkery, stage 5 cleaner, give that to me. If you're going to give me, you know, soulmate connection, love at first sight, give that to me. But what they tried to do is kind of give all a little bit of each and kind of force them together, and it just didn't mesh. You can do that. I've seen it done in good books. It just wasn't executed well here. It needed a little bit more fleshing out. It needed more dialogue between the two. It needed more heart and compassion and emotion behind it. We just got physical moments without a lot of connectivity to them. And if we had that connectivity, then we could have had the 3 components and it flows seamlessly, but we didn't have that. So this insta-love did not work for me for that reason. Which brings me to the missed opportunities. This book is called Deadly Gossip, okay? Deadly Gossip. So already the title is saying, okay, we're kind of dark and we're kind of misunderstood. That's what the title is telling me. Dark misunderstandings. There were so many missed opportunities, and I fucking hate this when I see missed opportunities because I know if the author would have taken those and ran with it, oh, better than sex moments, people, better than sex moments, and we didn't have those because we have Duncan Scott kind of being obsessed with her, but not to the level where it was stalker. It was just right there. Give me the stalker element. Give me that 1 or 2 nuggets where he does research on her. He does a background check on her, finds out about her family, knows things, drops some stuff that she hasn't told him and finds out about it. Give me that I'm watching you kind of element, that fear factor of like, should I be turned on or should I go away? I don't. Give me that element. we have Duncan speaking very, very dominant language. Very dominant language. And there's a few scenes where it is just verbal. And that should have been way fucking hotter, and it wasn't. It could have been, but it wasn't. The verbal moments were fantastic. But when we get to the actual physicality and the carnal stuff, that shit went out the fucking window. Where'd it go? Where did this guy go? Where was the guy that told her, you're gonna go in that room and you're gonna think about me sucking on your clit and licking you up and down and grabbing you and teasing you while I play with myself? That's what you're gonna do. And you're gonna scream my name and call me daddy when you come. Over and over and over again. That's what you're gonna do. Now go turn around, baby girl, and walk in there and do it. Where the fuck did that guy go? Where'd he go? Wanna know where? I have no fucking idea. Because during the sex scenes, didn't see that. Didn't see that dude. I saw a very compassionate, I saw a very well-endowed, I saw a very sexy, I saw a very well-mannered lover. I did not see that guy. And that's the guy I wanted. Missed opportunity. Missed. I don't mind if you're a duo. If you can be the compassionate lover and the romantic and emotional and caring and, you know, all of them, because that's part of the dominant side of people, is that aftercare, that care element, that protection element. But you only gave me this super sexy, get on your knees kind of fucking dude in verbal format, and you didn't actually show it to me in the bedroom. Where? No. Missed opportunities. This book could have been so much fucking hotter. So much hotter than what it was. And darker. We have murder off page. We have assault. We have really twisty shit. And this is the suspense side. This element could have gone fucking dark. And it went dark, but it could have been darker. It could have been, and it would have been so awesome. Oh my God. It would have been a much trigger heavy book, but dude, missed opportunity for the darkness. Oh, and I live in the dark. I love it. Everything's better in the dark. And I really feel like this book could have been 10 times stronger if it had been hotter, if it had been darker, and if they would have given me the elements that they created in the characters and saw them follow all the way through. I feel like the author got there, but she just couldn't bring herself to do it. Like, she was just like, no, I don't want to piss a lot of people off. I don't want to go that dark yet. Like, she wasn't ready. And sweetheart, you've got the shit. Fucking do it. You've got it. Go for it. Because bitches like me love this shit. The last thing that didn't really work for me was the heroine. I loved Maddie. I loved her at the beginning. I loved her character. I loved her moral ethics. I loved the struggle that she had. So she's on Duncan Scott's legal team. Duncan Scott's still technically married. Okay, they're going through a divorce. But he is obsessed with her. And he wants her. And she's constantly saying, you're married. I work for you. You're married. I can't do this. You're fucking married. Did I mention that you're fucking married? And this is completely ethically unacceptable? She's constantly having this inner struggle while still trying to deal with the emotions and the feelings that she's developing. And also the questioning of these feelings. Are they real? Are they just lust? What is this? What is going on? Who do I trust? Do I trust my gut? Do I trust my head? Do I trust my heart? Do I trust the news? Do I trust Duncan? Who the fuck do I trust? I loved her internal dilemma. I loved it. I could relate to it. I could. But then the moment comes where nothing actually happens. Nothing, no lines have been crossed. Just they look a little blurry, but nothing's actually physically happened. It's all misconstrued and misunderstood. And she has a chance to get out and get what she wants. But instead she stays. And I respected her at that moment. She stayed and she fought. And so I thought, okay, she's made her choice. This is going to be the way she goes. She's going to stay the ethical. She's going to stay the moral. She's going to wait till the divorce is over. So she's no longer on the legal team. All this stuff. Really thought I was like, okay, you made a tough call, bitch. You did? I'm going to back you. I'm going to back you. Okay, I got you. And then all of a sudden, this internal dilemma goes away. I no longer see it. I no longer hear it. And they're banging. He's still married. Still on her legal team. The only difference is, instead of being in LA, they're now across the United States. So your location changes, so your whole ethical moral code goes away? Fuck that. Fuck that. I lost respect for her at that point. I did. It still was a good story and I still enjoyed it, but I lost my relatability to her. I lost the backing I wanted to give her as a character because she didn't stick with her gut. She made the choice and then she went back on it and she reneged. And I said, you know what? The character that you created in the beginning, I don't think would have done that. I think she would have stayed the course and she backed out. And that kind of sucks because I really liked her character in the beginning. I really, really did. But we have morals and ethics for reasons. And the reasoning that she gave for going against them was not strong enough. A guy is not strong enough to go against your own moral fiber to me. He's not. Especially when he is getting a divorce. And eventually that divorce will happen, and then you can be off his legal team. Also, you had an opportunity to walk away scot-free, clean and clear, and then be able to do what you want to do, but you decide to stay on his legal team, and then you did it anyway. So I kind of lost respect for her at that point, and that sucked. That sucked a lot. My spice rating, I gave this 2 chili peppers. The dominant language that was used was hot. I liked it. I liked the fact that he constantly joked about her calling him daddy. Thought that was fucking dope because there is an age gap, but it's not a huge age gap, but there is an age gap in there, so that does kind of make it kind of fun. I thought that was a unique element. But again, that dominant language was not backed up when we got to the actual physical super sexy fun times, and it could have been hotter. So that kind of dropped the chili pepper down. The dominant language did not hold as much weight for me because it wasn't backed up. We did have a really unique phone sex scene with some toys that I did enjoy. I thought that scene was kind of unique and I enjoyed that. Because phone sex and sexting is a current thing in our day and age. So I did appreciate that. And then she got to use some toys on her. I'm always a fan when toys get brought in. Any guy who's not afraid to use toys on his girl, props to you. There you go. They are your friend, not your enemy. Okay. Loved it. Loved it. There was also this really unique journal component that Duncan is writing towards the end of the book when we need some space between our characters. And he's writing this journal basically confessing and professing his entire love for her. And there's a few spicy entries that she uses for masturbatory material. And I thought that was great because as a reader of romance and dark romance, fuck yes, I use that shit. So I can relate to you in that. That was awesome. I appreciated that. This book suffered from a lot of buildup and not enough payoff. We do get payoff, but for the amount of buildup and that beginning just sexual tension between the two, the payoff wasn't strong enough for me. It wasn't. The first kiss totally paid off. That was dope. Although I did not relate to the character, I was not rooting for her at the time, that kiss was cheers. Great kiss. I could picture it. I could see the weather. I could feel the cool breeze. I could see the deck. I could hear the ocean waves. I could hear him humming Can't Stop Falling in Love with You or Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis Presley. And I was just like, oh, this is like the sickeningly sweet first kiss ever. And I fucking love it. And then we get a tie back to it at the very end epilogue, which I really do appreciate. I always appreciate the full circle moments in romances because I have one of those in my own real story. So I like the full circles. I really, really enjoy those when authors do that. It gives some kind of sense of completeness to it. And I did enjoy that moment. However, there was no real standout sex scenes for me. There's no scene in here where I'm just like, FTD bank right there. There's no FTD banks in this. There's not. Which was kind of depressing because I feel like there could have been. Again, this thing could have been hotter and darker and so much spicier. But however, the suspense element alongside this sexual tension, that was a unique concept. And I enjoyed that because not only do we have the suspense of, who done it and actually what was done, because sometimes at some points you don't even know what the actual crime is, which I think was really kind of a unique concept. It's interlaced with this layer of sex. And I was just like, I like it. I like it. I don't really know how to talk about it because it's something that's so unique and I don't think I could see it used well in a lot of books. But this book, I got a taste of it, and I appreciated it. I appreciate the sexual suspense element that was also infused in the book. So it was done really, really well. My final thoughts. This romantic suspense was better on the suspense than it was on the romance. However, I had a good time with this book. It kept me guessing. It kept me engaged. It kept me wanting to know more. It made me feel things for characters, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. It gave me characters that meant something and now would mean nothing to me, which a lot of books don't always do. Don't get me wrong, I love a good arc. I love redemption arcs. I also really like declining arcs. The problem with this declining arc is now the character really has no purpose in the story for me. It was too much of a decline. But still, the character was notable. It made me say something. It made me stop and read, what the fuck, man? And I like books that do that. I like books that bring out emotions in me. So I did enjoy the emotions that were brought out in me in this book, whether they were good, positive, or indifferent. I feel like this book could have been hotter with the type of language that was used. I've said this before. I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities in this book, but the opportunities that were taken were done well, and they were good. There were opportunities taken in this book. This suspense side of the story is so twisted that I'm not kidding you. I did not guess any of these twists, and I'm pretty good at guessing twists. My husband is better, but I'm pretty good at it. And I did not see half this shit coming. So the risks that this author took, they did pay off. So I feel like if she would have taken the other risks, they would have paid off just as strong. So I really hope in future books of hers, because I do plan on picking her up again because I did enjoy the way she wrote, that she takes those risks because I feel like she could rock it really, really well. If you're looking for romantic suspense, I think this is a good representation of one. I don't read a lot of them. I do have to be honest about that. This is my real first foray into what I consider an actual romantic suspense book. But I did read this for a smut club, and this gave me more suspense than it did smut. So if you're looking for something super spicy that's going to burn you all fucking night long, I don't think this is going to do it. It's going to build you up. It's going to teach you some, but it's not going to give you the payoff that you want. You're going to have to do that by yourself. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching this, and for my viewers that request this book as a review. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a good time. I did give this a final rating of 3 stars, but I do plan on picking up this author again because I did enjoy the way she wrote. And I want to see what else she can do. I think she's got a unique voice and perspective, and I really think if she takes those risks, I'm going to really like her a lot. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys all soon with another review.